Good day, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. It's great to see you. Thursdays are always a little crazy for me, as I always say. A lot of running around and trying to make sure I can get back in time to stream. So I made it, so I'm happy. Let's take care of some introductions. Hello everybody, my name is Shawn. I am a photographer. I'm based in Germany. What the heck just happened? Okay, we're back at it. That was weird. Okay, hello everybody, my name is Shawn. I'm a photographer. I'm based in Germany. Wherever you are watching this, I hope you can see a Linktree link within the description right there. And it'll take you to every place I am on the interwebs. And most importantly, if you would like to join my Discord and share your work with me, I can share it with the community on my live streams. But you can find me every place else also. If you are watching this on Twitch, YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell icon, thumbs up, whatever. All that nice stuff. It's greatly appreciated. If you do have a Behance page, you can subscribe to me from there and get a cool wallpaper that I made on Adobe Live from Budapest. Very cool. And let's see here. What else? I think that's about it. So we don't have anything new to check out on the Discord, but if you do jump onto my Discord, just to give you a few channels, we have a Your Photos to Edit. So if you have unedited photos and you would be interested to see how I would edit them, when I have enough, I will do a full stream on how I would edit your photos. We have the regular stream chat. We have community artwork, project feedback, and your shop links. So your shop links is literally the community's links to the shops, to their shops, and that's it. Just links. So if you want to check out other people's shops, like we have Penny and Lady Jane, Elena, you can check out their shops and see what they're offering. Clicks matter also. So just so you know, clicks matter. All right. So I think today what we are going to do is continue working on trying to create artistic edits within Lightroom Classic and possibly Photoshop if needed. So we have been going through some of these, and we are still in Santorini. So if you have any questions, comments, go ahead, put them into chat. And we can chat about anything. Okay. Right now, I'm just kind of doing some quick culling to see if anything jumps out to me. We drove out to the top of this hill. Oliver, hello. Obviously we're pretty high up, and there was a museum that we decided not to go to, but while we were up here, a pretty vicious storm was coming in. How you doing, Oliver? Hope you're having a great day. Steven, hello. Welcome in, Steven. Great to see you as always. Hope you're having a great day. So yeah, this is a rain band that was coming in fast. And so this was an extremely steep hill to get up. And we were a little nervous being like at the highest point we were heading up to here, and we decided not to because that storm was coming in fast, and we just didn't want to be stuck up there. So going through, I'm just seeing if anything is going on. Hyena, hello, I'm doing well. How are you? Steven says, up and not crying. That's a start. It's always a good start of the day when you get up and you're not crying. I gotta fix my chair. I got a screw loose. Hyena says, I'm doing well. Good to hear it, Hyena. Always good to see you. All right. Celebrate the small wins. That's true. So you can see here, this is the road coming up. And lots of switchbacks and very freaking tiny. And I can't even imagine during the summer months, like buses come up here. Yeah, lots of cars, lots of traffic. Thankfully, we were the only ones. Might be smart, might not. Do I have? Yep, okay. Some of us have a box of loose screws. Oh, yeah, I'm not going down that path there, Steven. I was gonna say a keg of loose screws. All right. So we got off the hill and we decided to go to a beach. This is already so... Let's play with this one to start with. So first off, let's go into our crop tool. We're gonna make sure that our horizon is straight, and I can tell you right now that it's not, but it is now. Let's get into our basic panel. Let's go into, let's do an adaptive. I like that. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. By the way, just for those of you that were here on Tuesday, and I was having a whole load of Twitch issues, it looks like it's resolved. It should be resolved. Let's do a quick test. Let's see here. Okay, it's working. Cool. All right. We're going to bring down our highlights a little bit. Bring our whites. Bring our blacks up just a little bit. Castaway vibes. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. All right, let's get some masks. Let's do a landscape mask. See what we get here. Nice sky. Good mountains. Good on the water. And I added the mountains with the natural. So, yeah, let's make all of these masks. Okay. Let's start with the sky first. And let's turn off the overlay. I'm gonna bring down the exposure a little bit, and then we're gonna bring up the whites a tad. And I see we have ads over on Twitch. Bring down the shadows a little bit. I'm good with that. Let's do the natural ground together. And we're gonna see, hi Elena. Hi. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. You know what? No.
Lazu77 just redeemed Big Boom.
Oh, you are gone. First time chatter, hello. Let me take care of this. Thank you, Elena. It's always wonderful to see you. Clean mummy 4YP4S. All right. Okay. That is spam. Elena says, good evening from Bangladesh. Oh, well, that went on for a long time. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so we're going to go into the natural ground and we're going to eliminate. So we're going to go subtract and we're going to do select landscape for the subtract. And we're going to subtract the mountain and hit that. So now we've got our sky, our mountain, our water, and our sand all on separate layers. Masks, not layers, masks. Got to do this properly. Okay, so we can deal with the sand, the black sand first. And so I do want to keep that dark. So we're going to bring down the shadows. Down the blacks just a little bit. And then we're going to bring up the whites. We're going to go in, we're going to add some texture. We don't want to go crazy like that. That doesn't look good. But add a little bit of texture. A tiny bit of clarity. And then a bit of dehaze. Just kind of getting more contrast going on that layer. All right, I like that. I like where we're with the sky. So now let's take a look at the mountains. Let's make this smaller for now. And let's add some texture to the mountains. A little bit of clarity. Go in a little bit of whites. Let's go ahead, bring our shadows down. There's a lot of midtones there. Let's not deal with the shadows. Let's go with the blacks. Yeah, just bringing out more texture there. I like that. All right, let's deal with the water. Now the water, we're gonna bring the whites up, our shadows down. There's not a lot of shadows in water, but we're gonna bring that down. With our texture, I'm gonna bring the texture down a little bit, as well as the clarity. Ooh, I don't like what that's doing. I do not. We'll take the clarity up a little bit. I like that. Let's see what we've got going on in the sky. Ooh, lots of birds. Lots of birds. Ooh, looks like maybe something on the lens? Oh. Wow, I don't have a sensor spot, but let's go ahead and clean that up. Curious now. All right, dead center. Go ahead, update our masks. What was this shot on? It's a Nikon. You have to be wary of shadows in waters. Sometimes there's sharks or orca who think you look like a seal, i.e. lunch. Was it? Let me think here. No, it must have been Madeira. Yeah, it must have been Madeira where I asked about sharks, you know, or whales even. Do you have like 200 cameras? Hyena, no. I mean, well, I have antique cameras. I have 2 camera bodies. So when I'm doing a shoot, I always have 2 camera bodies. And then I've spent all my money on lenses. I have a ton of lenses. I've gone through and going to, like, I'll come across a super old Nikon lens and at like a secondhand store or something like that, and I'll be able to pick up these old lenses. It's like a 200 millimeter prime lens, 100% manual, everything on it. It's old, and finding old lenses like that and doing stuff artistically is always a lot of fun. I've got, for video shoots, lenses for videos. I have a bunch of prime lenses. I have tons. I have more than what I can keep track of. Let me put it that way. So I have always believed. Now the technology that is out there right now is really freaking good. I have been using this same camera, and boy, have I got my money's worth. I was in Quebec City when I dropped my camera and I broke the knob on top. Since then, on that trip when it broke, Mrs. Shawn was like, get a new camera. So this was maybe 10 years ago. Oh my God, I've been shooting with the same body for 10 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have not felt a need to upgrade. I've never shot a Nikon. I'm interested in the new Nikon ZR for video. I'm also looking for a Nikon F3T. Okay, here's the thing, to be honest, I started with Panasonic. It was a Panasonic G3 mirrorless. I grew out of that in probably 6 months. And at that time, being in Europe, depending upon where you live, depending upon what is available to you, has a lot of influence on what you're going to purchase. So when I went to get my first DSLR, the shop that I went to was a Nikon. Sold Nikons. So that's kind of where my interest was. So I did my research, I looked at it, I bought my first Nikon, totally happy with it. And then I started buying lenses. So then once I broke the knob on that, like I said, I've got it fixed. I had all this Nikon glass. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna switch to Sony or switch to anything else, because then I'd have to sell all my glass. And it's like, I'm just gonna stick with Nikon. Now this was the D5, the flagship Nikon came out. This is when the D5 came out. So I mean, we're talking like 10 years ago. And the little brother to the D5, which was a beast of a camera, is the Nikon 500, the D500. And so it had, like, there's no built-in flash. This is, for where I was in my development of a photographer, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is like, I don't need a full-blown, like, medium format, blah, blah, blah. It was perfect. And I was also shooting a lot of sports at the time. I was taking photos for the Massachusetts Senior Olympic Games. So I was shooting year round in all of these events. And the Nikon, the D500, was specifically made for wildlife and sports photography. Like, that's what it was designed for. And I was like, yes, please. And I got an amazing deal. It came with a 300 millimeter lens. It came with this whole package. Yeah, so I'm still really happy with the camera. Would I love to go to the mirrorless Nikon? Yes. Could I justify it right now? No. So that's kind of, where I'm at. I still have my Panasonic G3. And sometimes if I'm really in a pinch when it comes to traveling, I will take that because it's just so tiny. It's so cute. It's just this little, with a big lens, but the body is really tiny. Yeah, so. Okay. Do I want to remove any of this? And I don't think so. It's disappointing. It's crazy for how far cameras have come with pre-aperture global shutter, 120 frames per second continuous, crazy dynamic range with stacked sensors. Yeah, and you're gonna pay for that. You're gonna pay for it. Now, I still believe in trying to get the best image in camera. I believe that. I also know for a fact that over the last few years, well, since lockdown, that my editing skills have skyrocketed. So that there's certain things in camera are very, very important to me. And in the past, I used to I've been to like 41 countries. And in the past, I used to walk around and not want any person in my photo. And I would wait patiently. If there was a garbage can, I would sit there and search for an angle in which this garbage can isn't visible, or a sign. I was doing a lot of in-camera work. Things like that anymore, I'm not really too concerned. Steven says that's how Nikon got their foothold in news photography. They gifted a load of bodies to Life magazine. I didn't know that. At the time, if you did photojournalism, you shot for life. At the time, if you did photojournalism, you shot for life, often on their kit. So news photographers got used to Nikon, so when they bought kit, they bought Nikon. When they upgraded their bodies, they got bodies that took their Nikon glass. Yeah. I did photo editing for years before ever touching a camera, so when I started, I saw every shot with an editor's eye. Hyena, that's great. Steinway? Steven? Steinway, the piano makers? That is what they did. They gave they donated pianos to music schools all over Europe, I believe, and the United States. And I think that's how they got the same thing. Whereas people played Steinways, they learned on Steinways. And yeah, it's a smart business model. Of course, if you can afford it. We're back into global editing. I forgot where I was going. Let's get into our black and white, see what we can get here. I love dark blues. Oh, that's not giving me anything there. Nice. So, Hyena, when you said photo editing, digital or darkroom? Digital. Okay, gotcha. I love the look of the Nikon ZF and all the options for different body looks. Oh, what I was gonna say, what's that website? One second. Yep, okay. I started on Pentax, film bodies, and glass. I also have a Rolleicord and a Bronica. Somewhere I've got an old Soviet attempt to clone the Leica, all film. I did a lot of graphic design, photo manipulation, photo restoration, cleanup, color grading, and edits for magazines and websites. Cool. We've got a photo editor within our community named Sandrine. And right now she is doing a lot of albums for big companies. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Like, okay, DP Review. This used to be the go-to standard for looking at anything. Now, I've heard that they were going to shut down, and so I don't know at what point in time their last review was. I don't know if somebody's taken this over, because right here, one day ago, they're looking at the new compact Panasonic. But this used to be, I mean, I loved this website when I was going through and comparing cameras, looking for gear, looking at lenses. Man, what is this? Latest reviews. A7V. I guess these are pretty new. February 23rd. Yeah. Does it still have the compare features? Steven says, digital, I have a Coolpix and a couple of Canon DSLR. I'm thinking about getting another DSLR because the Canon DSLRs have a known fault with the adjustment. Okay. Maybe somebody took this over. I don't know. Oliver, do you know? Because the last time I was on this site, it was talking about... You do? Hang on. Okay. This was like maybe a year or more ago that they were talking about it going away. But for anybody that's looking for any kind of camera, like entry, anything, this is a great place to start. It says 2026 buying guide. Interesting. Okay. While Oliver is... Okay. Oh, geez. I was off by a couple years. Oliver says DP Review shut down was in 2023 when they were owned by Amazon. I did not know that. Who initially refused to consider selling it. After a lot of annoyed photographers, we can get annoying. After a lot of annoyed photographers made their feelings known, Amazon relented and allowed the site to be bought. It is now operated by Gear Patrol. Ooh. Okay. Then, yeah. Highly recommend the Sony A6 6700. Where did you see that? Is that... Hey, PJ. 6700. Sony A6700. Best cameras in travel. Best cameras under 2000. 26 megapixel. That's interesting that it doesn't, that these are the two views that you've got. That's interesting. No GPS. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. What is it using? I don't even know what Sony uses for its memory card. Like, it's interesting. Hold on. It's interesting that Nikon ended up going to the XQD card. And so, you know, this is the and the XQD card, it's a Sony. And so my camera is able to literally shoot non-stop. It's an storage type, a UHS-2SD. Okay. Good for photographers, vloggers, videographers of all walks. Not so good for those looking for a camera that's stylish as well as functional. Anyone who prefers a more traditional SLR design. That's funny. That is funny. All right. I'd like to see. Yeah. All right. We're gonna move on. I'm done. But just anybody out there, DP Review is an absolutely wonderful site. Wonderful site. All right, let's get back to some editing. I always like a good tangent. Oh, speaking of tangents, I did not. Where's my tangent train? There it is. Let's get that going. Hyena, have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. All right. I think we're good here. I think we're good. Get some sharpening. Holding down the Option key on the mask. All right. That's where we started. That's where we're at. Let's keep going. Ooh. Here's that switchback road that I was talking about to get up here. I forgot I took that picture. I took this picture. I took these two pictures. The guy turns around and looks at me like, "What are you doing?" Okay, I kind of talked about this stuff before. So this was, for anybody new here, this was a beach resort town that was pretty much shut down for the off season. And I started to become very interested in how quickly these beautiful resorts can look horrible. I mean, look at this water. All right. Just seeing if anything is jumping out at me. I have no idea. I guess mining? Huh. Okay. Not really interesting. That's kind of a cool photo. Kind of. The crazy thing... we ended up getting stuck here for one heck of a long time. All right, I am done with Santorini. We're done with that trip. And we're going to jump over to Madeira.
Clever Devlin just redeemed Big Boom.
Hi, Devlin. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a great day. All right. Let's see what we've got here. I have no 4. Let's go 3. I think a lot of these, yeah. I've already done the culling, and a lot of these have already been edited. But now we're trying to go through with another style. So that is... did I miss? No, I didn't miss focus. Okay. Is this edited? It is. Okay. Doing it this way. Let me see what we got here. Color, navigation, slideshow, zoom, grid overlay. I usually do not like having the film strip at the bottom. It just takes I mean, it's a little bit that it takes up, a little bit of space. But this way we can go through and see what we've got going. And I can tell if it's been edited or not. So to begin with, what did this look like before? Okay, this was not edited. All right. Okay, we're gonna work on this one. This one was not edited. So let's get in. First off, we're gonna go into our remove distractions, and we need to remove this wire right there. And I could take it into Photoshop and we could hit remove wire, but we're gonna do it since we're here. I am going to make sure to hit use Gen AI, and let's make our brush smaller, and we're just gonna go ahead and do the whole thing. Usually does a really good job. Okay, I like it. Let's see what else we've got here. These little huts, I think I'm okay with. I'm okay with it. Wow, you can really see I'm zoomed in at 100%, and you can see the muddiness that we've kind of lost. All right. Ken, how's it going? Kenneth, hey, been a while. What are you making there? I am trying to do some artistic editing. This is from Madeira, and I'll show you really quick. If I go in and do something like this, this is a preset that I made, just trying to go through and get more of an artistic feel, either doing a vintage, color grading, something. Let's do a Command Z. We'll get back, undo that preset. And so I'm kind of just playing around. Now, if I come back, you can see what we've got going here. Like, these have been edited already. You know, some good edits, standard edits from the trip. And then some other ones I just really want to I want to do a little bit more artistic. Kenneth says, doing good, looks like a nice area. Madeira is amazing. Madeira is a Portuguese island that is closer to Africa than to Europe. It is absolutely lovely. And one of the cool things is, let's get up here, is, let me bring this up. In the mountains, let it load, you have all of these waterways. I was almost guessing an Asian area. No, you have all these waterways, and so you can hike through all these mountains, and it's actually bringing water from the top of the mountains down into the cities, and it's quite amazing. And there's fish in here, but yeah, it's quite amazing to see. And when you go, it is highly recommended. As you can see, the water is here. Could never get on with Lightroom, found Photoshop easier. Paranormal, we'll talk about that in a minute. And there's tunnels going through the mountains, and they say to make sure you have lights, and people would use their phones. Not smart. So many people came out with bloody heads. Spend $11 and get a headlamp. Oh my God. That was the best $11 I spent on this trip, for this trip. But yeah. Okay. We have a comment. Could never get on with Lightroom, found Photoshop easier. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever with anybody's workflow. That hut looks cool as well. Yeah, where'd that hut go? Oh, here. We'll bring that up. So, the biggest thing for me, I started in Photoshop. The biggest thing for me is, for my workflow, the organization of Lightroom Classic. Being able to organize my images. Obviously, Photoshop doesn't do that. So unless you have a specific workflow for you to keep track of, let's see, what do I have in this catalog? 88,000 photos. So just in this catalog, I have several catalogs. I have 88,000 photos. You could be a better organizer than I am. For me, Lightroom Classic works hand in hand with Photoshop. I spend less time in Photoshop when I'm working on my images due to the new tools that have come out in Lightroom. But in the past, just to be perfectly honest, in the past, like 3 years ago, I used to I did a stream like maybe once a year. Lightroom Classic versus Adobe Camera Raw. Lightroom Classic versus Lightroom. And there were differences. So you wanted to figure out which, what was more important to you. The team, I was in a meeting with the Lightroom team, and Ben, the community manager, was talking about, them being the same engine, and I was like, no, they're not. And by the way, just to clarify, I am an Adobe community expert. I am not an employee of Adobe. I do beta testing and stuff like that, but I'm not an employee for Adobe. And I said, look, watch my video. And I sent him a link. And over the last few years, Adobe Camera Raw and Lightroom Classic are pretty much neck and neck. They're at par with each other. So the little things like in Lightroom Classic, that's not in Lightroom, is the navigator window up here. I love the navigator window. The biggest thing about the navigator window, let's just grab an image like here. If I go into develop and I want to do a white balance, I can actually move around. And if you watch up here, you'll see the colors change depending upon where I'm going to grab. So when I'm trying to find a neutral color, and I watch down here at the bottom where you can see it says it has the RGB percentages and 71.1, 70.4, 70.8. That's pretty close. I could choose that as it. But I'm also looking at the navigator window, so that way I can see, okay, I know the numbers are right, but does it still look right? So yeah, I've actually gone away from Adobe due to the prices, started using Photopea. Okay, as long as you're taking pictures. I think we all start with Photoshop, and then as we learn from each piece of software offers, then we stick with it. Lightroom is probably better for photographers, especially when they are working in RAW. But to be fair, I tend to stay in Photoshop as well because what I do. But Shawn has a fair point. That makes sense because you cannot do that in Photoshop. Everything has its advantage. Yeah, you know, some people use Bridge for their organizational skills. Now, I don't need Bridge because I have Lightroom Classic. I don't use Bridge because I use Lightroom Classic. So, yeah, it's all just whatever your workflow is. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Come on. Are you seriously doing this to me? One moment. I'm more of an illustrator though. Oh. So the photo, what did you call it? Photopea? Do you paint in it? Kenneth, I actually started in CAD, in AutoCAD. So for me to jump into from AutoCAD to Photoshop, that was kind of like, hey, this is really familiar. I like this. I taught Photopea, not bad, might not have all the bells and whistles, but it is not bad tool and is pretty much a Photoshop clone. Okay. Oh, come on, Kenneth, you can't put links in chats. Not mine. Yeah, just for students who cannot afford something. There's some amazing student prices that Adobe does. Okay, where am I? We were working on this one. All right. Let's see. Do we want to go black and white? Ooh. I don't like that, but that gives me an idea. Okay, we're gonna stick with this. We're going to go ahead and let's take down our highlights a little bit. We are gonna crank up the shadows or down. Same thing with our blacks. Let's take our whites up. Now, overall, I could go through and start, separating the sky from the mountain, and get them on different. Maybe we should. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that because I've got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work. So we've got our sky on our mountain. Yep, create both masks, please. Thank you. Let's get into our mountains. And we're going to warm this up. We're going to warm our mountains up. Oof, I am liking that. Now, this might be... I don't want it to be oversaturated. So just a little bit more saturation going into that. I'm digging that. We can go into our textures. And oh yeah, we're gonna take our textures down. So I think what I want to do is I really want to try to kind of balance this image out between the cool sky and then warms, like fall feeling colors. So I don't want anything huge. I don't want to go harsh with this. I want to go soft. So we'll bring down the texture, bring down the clarity. Now we'll bring a little bit saturation back into it. I'm digging that. Let's get into our sky and just bring our sky, add just a little bit of warmth, or a little bit of warmth, but we're gonna take the blue down. So from here, let's get back into our sliders, and we want to go, before we do anything else, let's go into our color mixer, and we're gonna grab our luminance and grab our selector. We're gonna bring up these oranges right there. Let's come over and grab these reds. Oh, that's still orange. Okay, I'm with you. Let's get into our hue. We're gonna grab these greens and we're gonna warm those up. Now let's grab our sky. Do that right there. Let's get back into our sky. And I feel like we need to take down the exposure of our sky. I like that. And bring up our whites just a hair. Oh my gosh, that was like blinding to me. This is the beginning. This is the starting image. Oof. What's your preferred methods for sharpening? Personally, I like the high pass filter method, using layers with opacity and fill levels and blend mode adjustment. Yes, so I agree with that method, and I have used that method a lot when it's needed. And I was doing a funny story. I just there was a large family shoot. There was a family that wanted family photos done, and I photographed them several times. And their parents were in from America, and they wanted it up on top of this hill above the city at this beautiful park. And I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem. So we went up, we shot. It was dark, it was rainy, it was a horrible day. They had their dog, and so I got like 2 photos of the dog actually looking at me. So in all the other photos, I sent them off. I had them do their pics. They sent them back, which ones to work on. I was turning over one print and then 20 digital images. And that was the package that they were paying for. And so I went through their 20 photos, and in all of them, I had to use those two dog heads. I had to put the dog head so it was looking at the camera, and so I had to use the same dog head on all of them. Then, due to the fact I had to shoot a pretty high ISO, and the photos for my liking were just too noisy. And so I went in, I used the denoise in Lightroom Classic, which I love. But with the denoise, it made the portraits look a little bit soft. So every single one of them, I took them into Photoshop, and that is how I sharpened, how I finished each photo was in Photoshop using the high pass filter. So, you know, there are, depending upon what the output for your images are going to be, there's different workflows. So there's not one set workflow. For images like this, I am perfectly happy with the sharpen tool within Lightroom Classic. I don't need to take it into Photoshop unless I have some heavy lifting to do. Then yeah, I can sharpen it there. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things, like as a photographer, as an editor, you are a problem solver. The problem is, it's a rainy, nasty, dark day. The problem is, the dog won't look at you. These are all problems from the beginning. So you figure out how to fix them, and then there are consequences sometimes. Noise. Then removing the noise, softness. Sharpen. So you kind of have to just look at it step by step with what is needed to get to the final point. Where is it that you're going to be the happiest? So yeah. I mean, I was doing I was doing a shoot, and this was for a government, and they had flags behind. And these flags, everybody have seen the flags behind in the portraits. They were so wrinkly. So I ended up going in with frequency separation and smoothed them all out. Like, that is a great method for getting rid of wrinkles. You know, pain in the butt. Should have brought a steamer. Okay, let's get back to this image. That is just this, so too green for my liking. Too green. This is way more interesting. This is more artistic, more of what I'm going for. I'm contemplating no, I kind of like it. I kind of like where we're at. I do. That's crazy. Well, let's give that a 3. And let's move on. Let's move on. This is such a beautiful island. And small. Wow, is it small. We spent a week, 5 days there, and we saw it all. All right, let's do it. Let's wait. Ooh, wait. That one. I like that one. That's the one we're gonna do. Let's hit D for develop. First off, let's make sure our horizon is straight. Straight horizons. All right. Let's go and try an adaptive. And I don't think adaptive is going to work here. No, it is not. Let's hit landscape. I'm gonna go black and white. Let's see what we get. I see we've got ads going on Twitch. Congratulations for those of you on YouTube. I'm not getting paid there yet. So, whoa. That got kind of crazy. Chat, you have gotten pretty quiet. Am I still live? I think I am. Bug. How you doing? How you doing? I did not check that. Who said that? I have no idea. Let's go in. We're gonna hit reset. And we have a major issue here. And going into black and white and the way I was editing it needs to be fixed. So first off, let's go into our detail and let's go ahead and we're gonna hit denoise. Work just got in the way. I understand, Steven. I understand. Okay. Yeah, that noise was getting in my way. Ooh, much better. Much better. Okay. So now let's go ahead. We'll grab our crop tool. Let's make sure our horizon is straight. There we go. I chose, we did a black and white, and I believe it was 9, or was it 11? It was 11. Okay, I'm gonna grab that profile. And I may, because I really don't want to mess with the sky too much. I think I got to do a lot of work on the rocks. Okay, sky, we want that. One little mountain way off in the back, that's funny. There's no vegetation. Water, but that's a bad mask. I'm not worried about that. Then we'll go natural ground. Okay. I want to bring a little bit of detail out. I like that. That's a lot of clarity for me. PJ says, I like taking photos. That's where I started out. Anymore, it's like taking photos for texture. My preferred line of work right now is layout design. I'm good at matching fonts and styling layout colors. And if it weren't for SSA rules about how much I can earn for another 5-6 months, I'd be looking for a job. All right. Well, that got kind of weird. All right, let's grab the sky. I am digging that. Not worried about the mountains. Let's add a new mask. I'm gonna test something out. We're gonna grab a brush. We are gonna take our contrast all the way up to 100, and we're gonna take our clarity all the way up to 100. Make our bigger. Let's go ahead, paint in some of these spots here. What I'm doing is I'm actually making the whites brighter and the darks darker. So it's kind of it's a wet dodge and burn. So it's kind of giving you that feel, which there's a lot of water. So, I mean, what if we do it? Ooh. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of global adjusting here. Just a tiny bit. Let's get in. I like that. That is an interesting edit. Look at this mountain. It looks like we turned the lights on. I like that. All right. What time? Let's see here. Okay, I am getting low on water. Do I have a Matterhorn photo? No. I have a ton of Alps. No. I need some water, so I need to take a quick break. So everybody hang out. I will be right back. All right. Thank you, everybody, for waiting. Greatly appreciated. I really needed water. Okay. Let's keep going here. Yeah. Let me get a screenshot. That's going to be for... There we go. Thumbnail. It was quite dark. Okay, next day. Let's see here. Let me make my thumbnails bigger. Oh, this was that hike that I fell off, almost fell off the cliff. Oh, geez. Talk about hurting. That was painful. Let's see. So, meh. You know, it's crazy that on the north side of the island, it's covered with like banana groves. And then just because it's a mountain of an island, there's none on the south side. None. I love this photo. I love this photo. I don't want to edit it anymore, but there is so much going on with this photo. You can see here's a pathway that goes up. There's even a handrail up here, keeps going up and up. Very interesting path going on. You've got like these little huts over here. Then you get down on the ocean. Here's a freaking tunnel and stairs. What is that? Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Oh, should be showing the edited one. But okay. I was going to say, that's a nice photo. I should edit it. It already is. All right. That's nice. Ooh, I like that wave. All right. That's cool. Let's see. Let's do that one. Okay. let's keep going. Keep going. So, again, what did I shoot this at? ISO 100, so we're good there. Let's get in crop. Level. All right, I think we're going to do some color grading on this. So to begin with, we're going to do global adjustments, I think, on everything here. We're going to not deal with any masks whatsoever. And we are going to keep this in color. So that's first off. I'm going to bring down our highlights. Let's bring shadows up a hair. We're going to increase our whites a little bit. And decrease our blacks. I don't think I want to mess with the texture clarity yet. Let's do some full on color grading. So with our shadows, hi, Uma. Hey, Uma. We still have issues, Umacorn, with the stuff that we've been talking about. And it is a major bug within the system. So they are aware of it and gonna try to fix it. Yeah. All right. Let's keep everything warm here. It worked for me once, and then it hasn't shown up since. So, yeah. That is a problem that I'm not happy with. PJ, are you watching are you behind again? I taught myself CAD. I'm kind of digging that. Might be too much red in the sky. Actually, I'm okay with that. Just a touch. Just a touch. All right, let's get back into the basics. Don't know how it happened. I was being careful. Well, it's easy to do. And the only way you can do is look for that red live button to make sure that you're actually up to speed. Easy to do. But I had to teach myself CAD. And then I went to school afterwards when we built our own CAD system. Okay. I'm going to take the dehaze in a different direction to lighten. That's kind of a fun edit. Something different, something I normally would not do. We could burn the edges just slightly. Just a slight burn. Let's bring some grain in. I think 7 is good. Tiny bit of sharpening. Not going crazy with it this time. And right there. Okay. That's kind of a fun edit, I gotta say. It's creative, and that's what I was going for. Definitely out of my normal editing. That's for sure. Okay. Did a lot of these monster cliffs. And I know I told this story before. So this is way at the west point of the island. Like I said, it's a small island. And there is this hike, and you can see the people right here. Let me take this to 200 even. You can see people there. Here's the trail right in the middle. People going. And you come through here, you go across this way, and you're supposed to do this hike. We pulled up to the parking area, and it was so freaking packed. There were literally no places to park. And I'm like, I don't want to be on a trail with this many people. This is why. So we actually drove around and found this area, and we were able to get right up to the cliff edge. We were kind of by ourselves for the most part. And it was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. This is just gorgeous. So I was really happy, really happy. So let's do this one and see what we can get. We'll see what we can get here because unfortunately sky is very much blown out. So we're gonna go ahead and just do landscape. Let's get some landscape masks because I think this is gonna take some work. Okay, sky, mountains, water. Yep. All right, let's see what we can get out of this sky. I really don't think we're going to get much out of this. Okay, let's get out of that. Back to our basics. Come back in. Grab our highlights. I'm not getting what I want. Let me see. Expose for the highlight, Shawn. Come on. Come on, you're smarter than that. Okay, let's do this one. At least this one we can start with something in the sky. That was operator error. I take full responsibility. By the way, people, it is 2:10. Anybody want to do the doodle game today? There we go. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's grab our mountains. Oh. Cool. Let's turn them into ice caps. We got icebergs now. I didn't know it could do that. Using the dehaze. Interesting. Ah, that looks horrible. I am perplexed with this one. I am. Sun is there. Yeah, okay. This would be way darker. It's just so atmospheric. Okay, people. I think I owe you. I see nobody has responded about the doodle game. And I do owe you a game from a while back. So if you would like, we can stop editing and jump into the doodle game because I have to end the stream soon. But it is totally up to you, chat.
Debug just redeemed doodle game.
Okay. Doodle game it is. All right, let's go ahead and get everything up and running. You know, even I was getting a little bored there, but Dupebug, thank you for that. And Devlin says, do be do be do. Ooh. Give you a holy shnikes. Look at the size. This is on my MacBook Pro. I have to do a bunch of work in Photoshop and it's so small. Oh, I guess I shouldn't be showing those. All right, let's go ahead. Command G, let's group those. Let's make sure that's off. Let's get a new layer. And let's jump over here and close DP Review. And let me open up our dictionary generator. And we're going to start with easy. Hi, Vikram. How you doing? I think Vikram just showed up just for this. Okay. Let me change up my workspace here. There we go. Brush. Let's get the right brush going. How you doing today, Vikram? Congratulations, chat. You hit 100 messages. Bam. It's been a quiet day. It has. Oh, I just saw this. Umacorn has reached a 5 Steam streak. Way to go, Umacorn. Good job. Good on you. All right. I'm going to try to draw this. And I really don't know if it's going to be any good. But I'm going to try. Ooh, Command Z. D for the default colors. Let's get our up to 100. Yeah, God, I messed everything up. I'm going to need to bring up. I missed Tuesday's stream, but check the replay. Gotcha. Got ya. All right. Oh my gosh, Umacorn. Umacorn got it with lips. Oof. Coming in strong. Vikram was right behind. Only 6 seconds behind. Good job, everybody. All right. First one down. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna mess with this. Oh, we're gonna have some fun with this one, people. Please share Pictionary screen. What Pictionary screen? I'm not drawing. I'm generating the word. Vikram wants to cheat. Oh, gotcha. A cylinder, a bongo, putt-putt, tin can. A paint bucket, paint, glass. Ice cubes, tumbler, whiskey on the rocks, whiskey. Okay. You guys are doing good. Alcoholic drink. Yeah. My hen tail, a cocktail, foam, beer, rum and coke. Oh, do this to me. Switch. Cold. Lego pail. Oh, no. A party, a match. Oh, come on. Come on. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Oh. A mojito. Okay. I've had my fun. I've had my fun. Screwdriver. There you go, Devlin. Screwdriver. I was totally messing with you all. Making a drink, and then I was gonna make the orange, and I'm like, okay, I have to stop this now. Screwdriver. Good job, Devlin. Devlin. Okay. What is... Something funky is happening. Something funky. Alright, now it's working. Screwdriver. Good job. Male hen tail. Tis true. There you go, Vikram. That was for you. All right, let's kick it up to hard. That is easy. How is that hard? Like, you guys are gonna nail this like so fast. I'm gonna have some fun. Ah, that's vodka and orange juice in a highball glass over ice. Oh, never had vodka before. A front door. Matt. Uma got it with Matt. A welcome Matt. Uma. Like, how is that hard? Whoops. How is that hard? Serious. That was too easy. Too easy. Okay, really hard. Oh, yeah, okay, this will be easy. Maybe. Maybe. All right. Devlin, what's another word for it? Stun. Umacorn got it. A stun gun. Stun. Zappity zapper. Cattle prod. That's not a prod. Stun. I thought that was... I'm like... I was a little lost on what to do there for a moment. Because I was thinking like people who, you know, that are stunned. Good one. Cattle prod. Uma's on fire today. We did that before. Too easy. I don't know why these are all so easy. A coin. A lid. Ants. Trousers. Jeans. Jeans. Dude bug got it. Jeans. Gray jeans. That was kind of too easy. Ah. All right. Pick it up to really hard. Huh. 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 I really don't know what to do for this. Yeah, I do. Another word? Another word? There's another word for it. God, you guys are so close. You are so close. There's another word for it. Oh, doesn't Steve... no! 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 I mean, it is what it is, but there's another word for it. It's not the person. What is it when you get... What do you have for this? What is this here? What is that? Vision! You guys were all around it. I couldn't believe that. Vision. We got Uma and Devlin. 2020 vision. It's a vision chart. Vision. Vision. Oh. Wow. That made me think. That one made me think. Whew. Okay. Whew. Vision. Breathe, Shawn. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Um. Balance. A bench. Well, I screwed that up. Okay, it doesn't matter. Stair, bench, crepe cooker, seesaw. Well, fine woodworking. Yeah, I screwed that up. Shadow. Tabletop, a horse, a reflection. A step, a surface. Sill. Table leg. No. A top. Support. Bullnose waterfall. A weight. Oh. Countertop. A counter. A worktop. An OG bevel. A plank. Edge. Vikram got it with edge. We've got a table edge. A edge of a paper or whatever. Edge. Good job, Vikram. That was hard. That was hard. Now, edge. How did Overture. How am I supposed to get you William Tell's, what is it? William Tell's Overture? Come on. Oh, come on. Azar? Maximum Overture. Yeah, no. Vanquish? What is, oh my gosh. These are killing me right now. Admire? Deceive? I can't. Oh, we did this one. It was hard. Oh, that's easy. Why is it? Why can't it be like in the middle? Like, you're giving me either super freaking hard ones or ones that shouldn't be part of that. Sassafras. Oh. Vikram, I don't know what it is that you're putting in. Delivery van. UPS. Fork you, buddy. Should I give it to Devlin? Lifty forks? Oliver got it with forklift. A car lifter? We got Oliver. I know Devlin was screaming it. Good job. Okay. I typed that before you drew the forks, shape of the vehicle with the canister on the back. Absolutely. Absolutely, with the propane tank on the back. Back when it freaked me out because I was working in a factory and driving the forklift and having to change the bottle, and it leaks out and it smells horrible. Like, ah! Young and dumb. Oh, we've done this before. With propane? Yeah, propane. Yeah. I mean, you got to remember, I don't know if they still have propane tanks, but yeah, you have to remember, this was like 30 years ago, maybe even longer. You know, long time. I want to do this one. I did this one before, specifically for Devlin. We have one on the property as propane. It's probably old too. Yeah, running diesel engines indoors is less than ideal, so they run on propane. Should I do this again? Yeah, I think we will. Very old but works. We can fork it up. All right. This is so bad. So bad. Wait, what am I doing? Hold on, I gotta start over. Shawn, you big dummy. I guess that'll be moving to electric instead of propane at some point. Yeah. Okay. Let's... Oh, it does look like a pelican. Uma, honk. I specifically did this one for just for Devlin. Draw an... Oh, this is what you told me last time. Draw an R with the leg sticking more forward. Okay. Before electric cars became common, a lot of taxis in my city converted to run on propane to avoid fuel duty and pollution charges. Oh. All right. Maybe this might be the last one. Oh, we did that one before. This is gonna be tough. Mainly because I suck. Hi, Mafu.
Fujisaki Mafu, you just redeemed Big Boom.
Thanks, Mafu. Good to see you too, Mafu.
Vikram King 1999 just redeemed Monkey Paw Stretch.
Okay. We have roller, felt tip, color, felt pen, marker, highlighter, paint pen. Okay. Remember. Whoa, get back here. Pen stand. Pen penguin. Oh. Pen quills. Pen guys. This is so horrible. Pen pals. Pen pals. Vikram, you were 1 second too late. 1 second too late. Okay. Pen pals. Oh, we have to do this one. Oh my gosh. How would the... Okay. All right. This could be really easy or it could be really hard. So bear with me, people. A timer. Overnight stay at the in-laws. Summertime. TikTok. Time stop. I brought my pencil. Undo. Clockwise. Tea time. Okay. I'm drawing this from memory, so please bear with me, people. Back to the Future. Hey, Nor. Good to see you. Time race. Flux capacitor. Okay. You all have got it. Paradox. What is this? What's that? 88 miles an hour. Time travel, but it's not, it's plus that. Time trials. Time machine. Time machine. Vikram. Time machine. Good job. Jeez. 1.21 gigawatts. Some serious... What, Oliver? My 12-year-old MacBook Pro died last week. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay. Oops. Save, please. All right. In an hour, I'm going to be live with Jack on the Firefly Discord. Swing on by, say hello. I have no idea what we're doing yet. I'll figure it out. There's going to be the Adobe Lives. I will be back Tuesday when this baby hits 88 miles per hour. We're going to see some serious... Oh, okay. It's time. Hope you said goodbye. That's clearly a DeLorean. Thank you, Nor. Trying to draw by memory. It's hard sometimes. Okay. Thanks everybody for being here. Today was fun. Yeah, make sure to check out all the streamers this weekend. Adobe Live is going to be happening tonight, and I will be back Tuesday. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. Stay creative. Is Penny live? We could raid Penny if Penny's live. I don't know. Penny finished ages ago. Okay. All right. Well then, we're gonna call it. Everybody, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in chat. Bye, everyone.